quiet. Have you ever wondered why the person who appears to love you the most abruptly stops paying attention to you? It may be perplexing and even unpleasant, but in today's video, we'll examine why someone who truly loves you might decide to withdraw or act distant. By the end, you might have a better understanding of what this behavior actually means, and perhaps even feel at peace. Sometimes love is complicated and doesn't always express itself the way we expect it to. The person who loves you deeply may seem distant or even cold at times, but this doesn't mean they have stopped caring. Rather, their behavior, when someone avoids you, it might be because they're processing feelings that are too intense for them to completely understand at the moment. This could show a depth of feeling that is simply waiting to be comprehended. Let's examine some typical explanations for why this occurs out of fear of susceptibility to The fear of being vulnerable is a big factor in why someone may be aloof while they love you. For some people, expressing their genuine feelings may be quite terrifying, since love exposes us and takes away our shields. In times of intense emotion, they withdraw to shield themselves from the potential danger suffering. This type of self-protection isn't about caring less. Rather, it's about caring so much that they're terrified of the hurt that could occur if things go wrong. This fear can be so great that it causes them to choose distance over closeness in order to avoid the risks they believe could come with being so emotionally open and insecure. When someone loves you deeply, they may also become overly conscious of every word and action. Love makes people self-aware, constantly assessing whether they're being good enough for you. They may second-guess themselves, wondering if they're saying the right things or making the right moves. This self-doubt frequently results in silence may seem like they're ignoring you, but they're really battling their own fears and trying to be their best for you, which might sometimes cause them to retreat. They choose to remain silent rather than run the risk of saying anything inappropriate. Love, at its most intense, can be so overwhelming that someone feels the need to take a step back and process everything. Ignoring you could be their way of reflecting on their own feelings and getting clarity on what they want. This isn't about wanting space from you, but rather about needing space to deal with the flood of emotions. It may be painful to be neglected, but often, this distance is a method for them to balance their inner world and not push you away out of fear of coming off as too reliant. It's almost like a timeout to help them make sense of the whirlwind inside of them so they don't get lost in it. They create a sense of space, even if it means ignoring you, in an attempt to show you their independence. In reality, they're just trying to maintain a balance frequently. 2, avoid placing too much pressure on the relationship or overwhelming you with their own affection. Some people fear appearing too needy or dependent, even if they are deeply in love. They worry that showing you how much they want to be with you might come across as clingy. Sometimes a loved one's distance from you may be their attempt to test your commitment. It's not a test to punish or confuse you, but rather a subtle way to understand where you stand. By taking a step back, they may be curious to see how much you truly care, whether you will reach out to them, whether you miss them as much as they miss you, and whether you're willing to put in the same amount of effort. All of these behaviors, though confusing, come from a place of love and vulnerability, so it takes patience to understand why someone who loves you might decide to act distant. Love isn't always easy, and people occasionally find it difficult to express feelings that are new, strong, or even overwhelming. One of the most beneficial things you can do in these situations is to communicate openly. If their distance is hurting you, try gently expressing it and let them know how their actions affect you. This conversation can pave the way for you to better understand each other and get closer to the truth behind their actions. The next time you feel ignored by someone you love, think twice before drawing conclusions, because their silence may be revealing a lot about their emotions and fears. Think about what could be hidden under the surface. If you approach them with compassion and openness, you might discover that their love for you is more complex and profound than you had thought. For more ideas on relationships and personal development, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you found this insight useful. We appreciate you watching, and keep in mind that love is often a journey, including trust, patience, and vulnerability. We'll see you in the next video. Many, then.